welcome to All Steelers Talk, your home for everything Pittsburgh Steelers, presented by allsteelers.com.
Hello and welcome, everybody, to a lovely Thursday edition of All Steelers Talk. Make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube at youtube.com/allsteelerstalk. We're your hosts, Noah Strackbine, joined every Tuesday and Thursday by my main man out of northern Phoenix, Arizona, where the weather is warm and the skies are sunny. Yeah, you're in a t-shirt. I'm in a sweatshirt indoors. I wore a hat on the show before. Last night I was on a podcast, Inspired by True Events. Check that out. I think it's on YouTube. I had to turn my heat off because my radiator is right here. So it is extremely loud. I mean, you hear it before the show. Like, it is ridiculously loud when it turns on. So I turned it off. By the time the show was over last night, it was so cold in my house that I was actually like shaking. My knees hurt. It was bitter. It was not a good time. But that's what we get in Pittsburgh. I guess that's it's just something you have to deal with.
So I'll actually counter that. I did leg day at the gym 2 days ago, and everybody knows the worst day of leg day is not the night of or the day after. It's 2 days after all that lactic acid has had the ability to build up in your legs. So whenever I went to Cardinals practice this morning, I was a true baby giraffe out in the wild, trying to drag my legs 1 foot at a time. So that's where I'm at, mentally, physically, and spiritually. But you know what? We got Steelers football, at least for one more week of the 2021-2022 season. I'm looking forward to it. Big Ben's probable last game, so we're here. We're ready for it.
According to Ravens defensive coordinator so-and-so, this might not be – he called him the Terminator. I don't know if this is going to be Ben's last game. All right, Antonio Brown, relax. It's Ben's last game. We all know it. Ben has admitted that at this point it's just become a casual conversation with Ben. Like, oh, yeah, we'll see what happens after the season. Hopefully the Steelers got a good backup ready to replace me. It was like, all right, so that's it. We're done. We're done questioning it. You waited all season for us to guess, and now here we are. Which is fine. I'm cool with how it went and how it all came to be. But no. It's no Terminator. He's not coming back. This isn't an Antonio Brown prediction. But that's where we're going to start. That's where we are definitely going to start this week. It's been a long time since we've talked about Antonio Brown. I am so proud of us for how long we've gone without talking about Antonio Brown.
There's been opportunities.
There's been plenty of opportunities, and we've avoided them. We have said we've held strong to the whole we are over Antonio Brown. Get it out of the way. This is Steelers football. But at this point, there's no ignoring it. We ignored it on Tuesday. We actually forgot about it. That's how much we try not to talk about Antonio Brown. Tuesday, we totally forgot to talk about him just leaving a game in the third quarter. And I'm glad that we didn't, because in the last 24 to 48 hours, and really since then, the story has just become insane and continues to grow, it feels like. For those that don't know, Antonio Brown left in the middle of the third quarter as the Buccaneers were down 24-10 against the New York Jets. Yes, the New York Jets. Ripped his uniform off on the sideline, threw his gloves and his shirt into the stands, jogged off the field, gave a peace sign. The next day it was reported that he was complaining about an injury to his ankle, which he has been dealing with since week 6. That's a known thing. But he felt he could not play anymore in that game. Apparently, Bruce Arians and the coach said, I don't care. Get in the game right now. He said no. Arians told him to leave. Then it came out. Arians was like, no, that's not what happened. So what did Antonio Brown do? Released the longest statement of all time, which definitely was not written by him. By no means was written by Antonio Brown. Came through his lawyer. Sounded beautiful if you read it, saying that he knows he's made mistakes in the past, but you can't judge that from him. Giving his side of the story, saying that he pleaded that this actually happened, that he was injured, could not play, told everybody he could not play. Said that the Bucs wanted to force him to get a second evaluation when his first doctor says he needs surgery. Then Bruce Arians came out and was like, no, none of this is true. This is what happened. AB never told us about the ankle, never once said it during the game, was complaining at halftime about his touches, then continued to complain after halftime was over. So he was told to go in the game. He pushed the coach away, said, no, don't do it. So Arians went over, said, what's up? AB said, I'm not going in the game. Arians said, all right, F it. You're out. Brown left. The simple question to start here, what side of the story do you believe? Because it is two opposite sides.
Come on.
I'm just I got to ask the question.
Like a wise man once told me, when the circus is in town, you got to go visit. So I mean, we have to talk about this, and especially Antonio having such a very good career during his time in Pittsburgh. The last like 3 years have been really wild for that man, and I hope deep down he's okay. But man, like, is that dude like the second coming of Jesus for tabloids and just like podcasts and like everybody else who likes to watch football?
I was very blessed that it was a Sunday and the Steelers played on a Monday that day. I'll say that,
dude.
It was a good day.
I'm obviously on the side of Bruce Arians. Just looking at both of their track records, looking at what Antonio Brown has said, done, and thought the last couple of years compared to a guy like Bruce Arians, who obviously doesn't put up with any BS, and has a very clear established track record and proving that. I thought the statement released by Antonio Brown, through his lawyer, actually, I felt like it was trying to sell something, because like they pushed really hard on the, hey, like this injury was gruesome, blah, blah, blah. Like the Buccaneers told me this and they told me that. It wasn't really straight to the point. Like it sounded like really over exaggerated, I guess, is my thoughts on it. Do you think Antonio Brown knows that he can't just tell the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that he went and saw a doctor and he needs surgery? Like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers need to like get their own people on it just so they can verify that he needs surgery. Like this isn't like, hey, like I'll take your word for it, go ahead and have surgery when our top receiver is out and we're about to make a playoff push.
I don't know if he knows that. I honestly don't know, because I think that this was fabricated after the fact, that Antonio Brown came up with the whole, well, I was injured thing, because that just seemed to be like how, and I would imagine that there was conversations, like it was like, oh, okay, like, I need to have surgery. And then the Bucs were like, okay, cool. Like, why don't you come talk to our doctors just to make sure everything's fine. Like, I doubt that an NFL team is going to be like, you have to play. And like, don't get me wrong. Like, I kind of disagree with you with the whole Bruce Arians thing. I've never really felt that Bruce Arians is a top tier off the field coach. I kind of always felt like he was a bit questionable.
I wouldn't say that. I would say that he doesn't put up with any BS.
He definitely does not put up with BS.
Yeah.
But I do think
I would stop my praises there of him, though.
Yeah. I would agree on that one, and I think that does leave room for him to be a bit pushy and maybe make some selfish decisions in this matter, which at first I believed it. I was like, oh, okay, well, that kind of does sound like something Bruce Arians would do, to be like, no, you have to go in the game. I don't care if you're injured or not. We're losing 24-10 to the Jets. Then Bruce Arians came out and told the story about how he was complaining at halftime and how players had to calm him down. No player has come out and been like, that's not true. So to me, that's pretty clear cut that like, yeah, AB was definitely freaking out about this. This is not the first time. I mean, this is why he left Pittsburgh. He showed up in a mink coat on week 17 after missing a whole week of practice because Juju Smith-Schuster won team MVP and he wasn't having it. So it's not like this is the first time that he said, I need to be number one.
Didn't he show up and Mike Tomlin was like, nah, bro, go home?
Yeah. That's exactly what happened. Showed up in the mink coat, walked on into the
game
tunnel.
Day, right?
Yeah, on game day. First time he showed up all week. They had no idea what was going on. And then he tried to play. So this is a track record, and like you said before, this is Antonio Brown. We have seen Antonio Brown make waves in the media for dumb things, for there's not even a way to describe it because it doesn't even seem to happen on the normal basis. It just seems to happen with very extreme cases. I think this might be the most extreme looking back on NFL history. And you just can't believe anything that comes out of his mouth at this point. Plus, he definitely did not come up with that statement.
Couple things. One, he definitely did not write that statement.
Not a chance. It was beautifully written. It started
Yeah,
off by saying,
give him
I
that.
know I've made mistakes. As soon as I read that one, I was just like, Antonio, I doubt it. AB might not even have read this. Like, I might not even know what this says. It just got put out there.
I would actually pay money to hear Antonio Brown read that statement back verbatim. Couple things.
That would be awesome.
Did you hear the theories about the Buccaneers freezing him because he was due about $1 million in incentives?
Do you
Did
think
you hear about
NFL
that?
teams really do? Do you know what NFL teams are worth? Do you know what $1 million
So
incentive is for? Like nothing. It's not a thing. It's barely anything.
exactly, and a lot of people were trying to bring that up. And Bruce Arians, in the press conference he did today, admitted that he was on a snap count because of his ankle.
Yeah.
But with Chris Godwin already out, Mike Evans on a snap count as well, down multiple possessions to the New York Jets. Do you think they care about a $300,000 catch bonus?
No.
Do you because he needed 8 more catches, which he wasn't going to hit that week. He needed 8 more catches to hit like a $300,000 bonus. He needed another 56 yards to hit another $300,000 bonus, and then he needed a touchdown that game to hit another $300,000 bonus. Does he hit one of those? Probably. But like you said, the Buccaneers are a almost $1 billion franchise, fresh off of the Super Bowl. All of those guys took pay cuts to come back, right? Like money is not an issue over there. Ridiculous that some people would actually sit there and try to convince other people with brains fluid in their head, washing around in their skull, that a pro football team losing, still trying to battle for the number 1 seed in the NFC, would sit Antonio Brown so they didn't have to pay him $1 more million.
I got people in my DMs that were freaking out on me for reporting about the Antonio Brown thing and making a joke about it, saying it was Ben's fault. Just freaking out about how, this is it. Why would we attack it? All we do is attack Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown is a victim to the media. I'm like, Antonio Brown is not a victim. Do you know how much I hate talking about Antonio Brown? It's been 3 years. All I've ever wanted to do is stop talking about Antonio Brown. He wasn't here when I showed up at Pittsburgh, and somehow he is the person I've talked about more than anybody, Ben Roethlisberger included. At this point, I don't want to talk about him. I don't want the jokes to continue. Life was very easy when he was just catching passes in Tampa, winning Super Bowls, not talking about anything anymore. It was beautiful. So I think people have this weird complex where it's just like Antonio Brown deserves better. And Antonio Brown doesn't deserve anything. He's had the best. And every time he's come back and made situations worse. And then there's this, which I don't know what to believe of this. Okay. Exclusive. Fired Buck star Antonio Brown smuggled OnlyFans model who went viral for licking a toilet seat in 2020 into his hotel for a steamy sex romp and told her to watch What I Do Tomorrow the night before he stormed off the field. This is from the Daily Mail. It looks like it's a tweet that just floated out there. Will Brinson tweeted it out. He's a verified account. I'm not 100% how accurate this is. Obviously, it's just a guess, or it's it's up to you to decide. I'm going to ask, do you believe that this could be true? Do you think this could be true?
I've learned not to discount anything in life, especially whenever it comes to Antonio Brown. So yeah, I'd probably venture to believe somewhat of it is true.
Do you think that he actually said this? I don't think that he
probably.
I could,
but
yeah.
Here's the thing. I think the words were being taken out of context a little bit.
Yeah.
People are misconstruing them. Because whenever I first read Watch What I Do Tomorrow, I think, okay, dude's on a power trip. Dude's watch what I do on the field tomorrow. I'm gonna run past everybody. I'm gonna catch 2 touchdowns. They have no idea what's coming to them.
Yeah, I don't think he was
referring to the whole.
No, No, I don't think. I think at no point did Antonio Brown plan ahead of time to be like, you know what, a playoff team possibly destined for the Super Bowl again. I'm 33 years old. Chances are this is my last chance to do this, but I'm gonna quit week 17 when I'm this close to $1 million bonus. That just doesn't make sense to me.
Couple things. One, apparently, and this is according to Adam Schefter, Antonio Brown and his representatives the week before had asked the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for the remaining $2 million and the remaining incentives for his deal that year to be guaranteed by week 18. And the team obviously said no, their incentives, you got to earn it. Also, I want to point out for the incentive police, this man missed 3 games because he faked a vaccine card. If he's not hitting the numbers he wants to get that money, it's probably because he missed those 3 games.
True. Didn't even think about that. Didn't think about that at all. It's true. You can't even put it. And I'm not an incentive. I do like on-field incentives. I hate off-field incentives. I think they're stupid, but that's on him. He literally committed a federal offense. Only had to face a 3-game suspension. Gave a fake vaccine. If you're a college student and you give your college a fake vaccine card, you spend 3 to 5 years, in prison. Antonio Brown missed 3 games. 3 games. And people are going to say, oh, well, he deserved that much. Antonio Brown didn't deserve anything. And I hope that he's fine. Did you, before we move on to Diontae Johnson, did you hear Pitt knock the Palace? His new banger that he dropped the night he left the game?
I did not listen to that.
No?
Was it good?
It wasn't bad. It was definitely better than Whole Lot of Money. Definitely better than Whole Lot of Money.
Whole Lot of Money wasn't very good. Actually, I'm one of the few people that think Le'Veon Bell was probably one of the better rapper athletes to come through in a while.
Oh, okay. Look at Le'Veon Bell is also terrible in my opinion. But if we're gonna rank them by rappers that have come through Pittsburgh in recent years, it's definitely King Melvin Ingram was definitely number 1. Terrell Edmonds might be number 2.
Nah, that was not
Terrell
good.
Edmonds was not
I didn't
bad.
like that, bro.
Better than Le'Veon. I thought Le'Veon's just was I don't know. I thought Le'Veon sounded like a SoundCloud rapper whose friends were afraid to tell him that he should stop being a SoundCloud rapper. That's what I got from that one. He just didn't have a natural voice.
So
and then AB.
Go ahead.
No, and then AB. AB's last.
Before we wrap this up, I also want to point out a couple things that Bruce Arians had said. He said that Antonio Brown, they knew about the ankle injury, obviously, right? Because it's been something that's been bothering him for a little bit. They said on the sidelines on Sunday, never brought anything to the attention of the medical staff about his ankle. And then he also said that Antonio Brown participated in walkthroughs on Saturday as if he was going to play that Sunday. He said he went through everything just fine. And so for him to kind of do that and throw a tantrum was a bit surprising, but forced his way out of Pittsburgh, forced his way out of the Raiders. The Patriots and Bill Belichick couldn't rescue him. I mean,
no. And then he threw Tom Brady under the bus. Did you see him call Tom Brady out on Instagram today?
No.
He called out because I guess his trainer owed him money or something. Tom Brady's trainer owed Antonio Brown money or something. Called it out. At one point, put his bank account number and routing number on the internet.
I did hear about that. Yep.
Yeah, just dropped it right out there. I wonder how many people took a risk with that one. You could easily take a chance, you're just oh, I'm just going to pay rent for a month, see if he notices that $1,200 are gone. I wonder how many people actually did that. And then he put a Home Alone 2 movie poster up on his Instagram story with him as the kid. And then it was Bruce Arians and Tom Brady on the side. And then he tweeted out a whole, I don't mean any disrespect to the guys. They've been great to me, Tom included. I was like, you just put him in a movie poster, bro.
That's
what are you
weird.
doing?
Yeah, I know. That's really weird energy, especially for Tom Brady out of anybody else. Whenever he was really down bad, Brady was the kind of guy to help prop him back up again, get him on his feet. I mean, I believe he stayed with Brady both whenever they were in New England together and whenever they were in Tampa Bay together. I feel like Brady was his biggest advocate both times he played with him as a teammate. So Really strange energy. But then again, Antonio Brown, probably not.
That's what I'm saying. He's not a dude who's going to, you know what I mean? Like, he's definitely never strike me as the guy that's like, I got your back forever, bro. It's like, I got your back for the time being.
Let me send you a fruit basket for letting me stay.
Yeah. I don't think you're getting a Christmas present from Antonio Brown. Let me ask you this before we start talking about Diontae Johnson here. Does Antonio Brown play another down of football? Do you think he ends up somewhere else? If not this season, next season. He's getting surgery.
I think next year he'll sign somewhere, probably.
Do you have a guess on who?
Probably like a wide receiver needy team that already has like an established number one. But he also probably wants to go to like a contender as well. So like off the top of my head, I mean the Rams are going to be getting Robert Woods back, so like that wouldn't make sense for him. I feel like he wouldn't want to go to the Bears.
No, could you imagine Justin Fields having to deal with that?
Maybe the Dolphins, question mark.
The Dolphins, maybe. My guess, if I had to guess right now, would be the Green Bay Packers. If Aaron Rodgers stays in Green Bay, which I expect him to, I think that could be a good fit for Antonio Brown. And I think that you need a solidified quarterback to work with AB. Keep him kind of under control.
Absolutely.
You can't have Justin Fields would suck. I would feel terrible for Justin Fields.
My only issue would be he's not exactly keen to playing second fiddle. And bro, like if you're on a team with Davante Adams, no matter who you are, no matter what receiver you are, Julio Jones included, you're going to be second fiddle to Davante Adams.
Oh yeah, he's the best wide receiver in the NFL.
Yeah, I completely agree.
I just think that's he would have to take on that second fiddle role. I'm not confident he could do that. I just think that's a possibility of where he ends up. All right. Let's talk about some bad news for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Davante Adams. Diontae Johnson and Kendrick Green went on the COVID list today. Yesterday, Joe Hayden and Keith Butler both tested positive. The Steelers did get Devin Bush and Joe Schobert and Chris Wormley back, which is a boost. I think that negative outweighs the positive here, but I think there's no bigger story than Diontae Johnson, especially at this point in the week. It's very doubtful he'll play on Sunday. I mean, maybe a dumb question, but how big of a blow is this to that offense?
Well, Diontae actually caught something in the last couple of weeks, so that's nice to see at least. I'm kidding.
The man's got COVID. COVID.
He's been very good, except the last 2 or 3 weeks. So I'll cut him some slack. It's big. It's big because I really feel like that makes the Steelers offense one-dimensional whenever you're rolling out receivers like Chase Claypool, James Washington, and Ray McLeod as your top three. Cody White time? Question mark. We'll see.
Anthony Miller.
We'll see, my man. Yeah, maybe.
I don't even know if Anthony Miller still. He was on the COVID list 2 weeks ago, last week. I'm not sure if he's off the COVID list yet. Steven Sims, maybe.
Diontae is your best route runner, the best pair of hands I think you have on the team, your best playmaker at the wide receiver position, and you're losing all of that in one. So definitely a big loss. I think this is a really big opportunity for Chase Claypool to step up and kind of shut a lot of people up that have just talked so negatively about him throughout the entire course of the season. I feel like this could also mean we see a lot more 2 tight end sets. So maybe a lot heavier dose of Freiermuth with Yinzer's actually won't complain about at all because the dude's a stud. But Ben's last game, especially against the Ravens too, on the road, you want to see everybody possible on the field just so it's. But there's no excuses, right? Whenever it comes down to it.
Yeah.
I think we're in line for another really heavy dose of Najee Harris on Sunday, though. That might have already been the case, but Diontae Johnson being out really throws a wrench into what the Steelers can do.
Yeah, it definitely does. It's very concerning. And especially a game like this is Ben's last game. And I think that's what kind of stinks about it now is this is the last time Ben Roethlisberger will ever get to play professional football. And likely, everybody's talking like the Steelers are out of the playoffs. I mean, heck, the 4-win Buffalo Bills beat the Jets one year. I don't even remember when, but I remember sitting on my couch watching it to get the Pittsburgh Steelers into the playoffs. Anything could happen. And also, fun fact that maybe Steelers fans don't know. I didn't know this until last night. I was told it on a podcast. The Jacksonville Jaguars are 6-0 in the last 6 games against the Indianapolis Colts in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
That's somewhat promising for the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Those games haven't had a rookie quarterback like Trevor Lawrence, who's just trying to figure things out and just throwing picks left and right, though.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm not saying that I'm not the guy who's like, well, the records say that this is going to happen, so this is going to happen. I still think the 15.5-point spread is one I would take on the Colts. But you never know. It's just a small ray of hope for all of us here in Steelers Nation. I think we need it.
I would not be playing my role as the pessimist on this podcast if I didn't disagree with you. So,
look at again. I'm not saying they're going to win. I'm just saying.
Just saying that it's an interesting number to look at.
It's a fun fact for all of us to know heading into Sunday. 0-6 the last 6 games that Colts are in Jacksonville. That being said, no Diontae Johnson. This is the last time Ben will ever get to play football, and he just lost his favorite target, his only reliable target on the field. I mean, I just feel bad for him. I want Ben to go out. You know, it would be nice to see Ben throw for 300 yards and walk away a winner over the Ravens and know that, you know, he won that football game, just to give him one more, you know, just to be like, that was a cool way for Ben to go out. You know, you're not going to be Kobe putting up 60 points, but if you have a good game, that's cool. Now it's like, you're working with a bunch of scraps and Chase Claypool out there. You're hoping that Pat Freiermuth comes back. I mean, I get that he was here last week, but he's dealing with the concussion. You don't know what the repercussions of that are going to be. Mm-hmm. So you don't know how reliable that's going to be. Him and Zach Gentry have definitely stepped up this season, but there's the gap between second fiddle and Diontae Johnson is significant. And at this point, just like you said, it's going to be a heavy dose of Najee Harris, and you got to just hope that Najee can run the ball well enough to open up the passing lanes.
Yeah, and this is going to sound really bad, but I think Kendrick Green going on the COVID list.
Oh, that's a great thing.
Might be for the best for the Steelers line. And I really hate to kind of poop on the kid because he's a rookie, and I'm sure the learning curve from playing college ball to the NFL, especially switching positions, night and day difference. And he was kind of thrown into the fire. So here's to hoping he's better next year. But man, like, was he not getting the job done this year?
No,
not at all. I feel like last week was probably the best we saw that offensive line play throughout the entire season. Was that them feeding off of the juices at Heinz Field? Probably. Yeah. But I mean, you gotta roll with the same guys again, right?
Oh, you can't. If this was earlier in the season and they put Kendrick Green back in after what J.C. Ossenauer did, the Steelers fans should have a field day, and they would have every right to have a field day. I agree. I don't think it's a loss. I think it's a boost for the Steelers offense. Unfortunately, though, at this point in the season, it means absolutely nothing. Who cares? You know, J.C. Ossenauer is here. If anything, maybe he'll earn, you know, a spot to come back. He's been quality depth when he's healthy. I don't know. It's a loss. Diontae's a loss. Kendrick Green, I don't even think he was going to play to begin with. He was a limited participant in practice yesterday, then went on the COVID list. So I doubt he would have practiced much today. I just don't think he would have played. It's a lot. It's going to be a lot of Najee. I do feel bad for Ben. On the other side, I mean, you get Devin Bush, you get Chris Wormley, and you get Joe Schobert back. Does that help?
Schobert and Bush are kind of very meh for me at this point. Wormley, I really feel like Wormley was playing well the last couple of weeks he was on the field. So that'll be a very big boost for the Steelers defensive line.
He had 2.5 sacks last time against the Ravens.
Yeah, and like I said on Tuesday, Marcus Allen played a hell of a football game. And I would really like to see him get another opportunity at middle linebacker. So hopefully he's at least part of a rotation, with Bush and Schobert going back in. And like you talked about as well, I mean, Robert Spillane, phenomenal in run support. I mean, that dude has a lifetime pass in Pittsburgh because he's the only man to ever put on a football helmet and stop Derrick Henry dead in that dude's tracks at the goal line.
Yep, ever.
Sure.
In NFL history. Broke his shoulder right in half. It was never the same.
No.
He's a madman. He runs right into you. He's that kid that you like played high school football with that just like went like 2 million miles an hour, made a billion mistakes, but like you're always just like, man, I don't really like. Do I really have to have an Oklahoma drill against this guy? Like,
Yeah.
it's just like I don't want to do this, man. Like he doesn't feel pain. What are we doing? Like that's who he reminds me of. Or like the kid in your basketball league when you were like 7th, 8th grade that would like stuff everybody. He had 9, but then he'd foul out in every game. That's who Robert Spillane definitely reminds me of. Yeah, I mean, it means nothing. And I think Devin Bush and Joe Schobert come back might actually hurt the Steelers defense. I don't know. I'm worried about it. I don't think it's a major boost. And I think losing Joe Hayden might help a little bit because he would have got smoked by Marquise Brown, but I don't know. It's a good opportunity for and Rashad Bateman. But it's a good opportunity for Kelly Witherspoon to prove himself once again, maybe earn another contract. And without Arthur Millette, who popped up on the injury report today, I mean, I don't know what they're going to do. It could be a lot of Cam Sutton, Justin Lane on the outside.
Yikes!
It's gonna be a mix and match day. It's concerning. COVID concerns are concerning. Something to keep an eye on. Before we get into picks here, over under Ray McLeod 10 catches. What do you got?
I would normally take the under, but watching what the Steelers offense did last week, where they just ran mesh the entire time and just dumped off, it's enticing. I'll still go with the under, but that's very enticing to take, my dude.
I'm going strong over. Strong over. I'm saying Ray McLeod finishes with 12 to 15 catches. Might break the NFL record for most catches in a game.
Didn't he have a game like that a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, it feels like every week Ray
McLeod
catches way more
passes. Like 12 catches, and you're like,
yeah, you don't understand what's going on. Yeah. You just don't. I don't. Look at Ray McLeod's the team MVP. TJ Watt got named team MVP, but Ray McLeod this week is working as the number 1 receiver and playing Lamar Jackson in practice. That's team MVP in my eyes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I would bet those votes were very close. Like TJ Watt, Ray McLeod, 1 and 2.
I'm sure they at least gave him like an Eaton Park gift card.
They might have. I don't even think he knows what Eaton Park is. If I was a Pittsburgh Steelers player and I wasn't from around here, 0 chance I'd know what Eaton Park is.
But the cookies, man.
Dude, I don't know. I've been to Eaton Park one time. It was by mistake. Like me and my uncle just went there randomly. I've never been there besides that, ever. I've never had an Eaton Park cookie. I've been here 4 years. I don't even know what it's like. I heard that they have pies that are pretty good, but like I don't know. Yeah. I've been to Eaton Park one time. Got their milkshake. Their burger was subpar at best.
Have you been to like a Ponderosa steakhouse?
I don't know what that is.
Bro, okay.
Is that a Pittsburgh thing?
Have you at least been to Permani's?
Yeah, I love Permani's.
Okay.
And I've never been on
Permani's.
I love Permani's. Very
good
big fan of Permani's. What is Ponderosa? Is that a thing around here?
It's
everybody who doesn't know, who doesn't get it every time I introduce Donnie. Donnie lives in Arizona. Okay, I live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Yeah, I get it, bro. But I live here. I'm here every day eating food.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know what is Ponderosa.
It's supposed to be like a steakhouse.
Supposed to be. You said you haven't been there, or you said you've been there. You talked to me like I should have been there.
Yeah, bro. There's no Ponderosas out on the West Coast, though.
Oh, well, you just said you're from Pittsburgh. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no, but bro, I was there like 10 years ago as a kid.
All right, so Ponderosa.
The actual name of the restaurant is Ponderosa Steakhouse, I believe. But I remember there being like a salad buffet, but then also
like a Ruby Tuesday.
Like sat down and like ordered.
Like a Ruby Tuesday situation. Ruby Tuesday salad bars.
I've never been inside of a Ruby Tuesdays.
Bro, you should. They're the blue croutons.
Bro, we are all about the Chili's 3 for $10 around here.
Chili's is phenomenal. Okay, Chili's is phenomenal. There's one Chili's out here. It's like 25 minutes away. I was just like driving randomly during COVID one time during the quarantine, and I like drove past the Chili's, and I was just like, no way. Pulled in, ate Chili's all by myself mid-quarantine. It was the highlight of my entire quarantine, actually. Like it was just me in the Chili's with the waiter. That was it. It was some lady. She was like 75 years old, bringing me out a milkshake.
Have you?
And some enchiladas.
Turner's tea.
I'm not a tea guy, but I have had Turner's tea. Yes, iced tea scares me. When I was a child, My uncle got a kidney stone, told me that he got the kidney stone because he drank too much iced tea. I think I drank iced tea 3 times in my entire life after that moment. It scarred me for life. It was like watching a horror movie with your like feet out of the blanket, and you're just like, I'll never sleep with my feet out of the blanket ever again. That's what that was me.
Have you had a Roethlisberger?
At Permani's, no, I haven't. But I have had a Gensel milkshake at the Milkshake Factory. They're pretty good. They are very good. Okay. Milkshake. My problem with Milkshake Factory is that the milkshakes are like very tiny, like just like not worth $6 for a milkshake. Yeah. But they are good. They are good. Nothing beats an Arby's milkshake though. If I'm gonna rank milkshakes, Arby's milkshakes, they're like $2.50. They're as big as this Dunkin' cup, and they are beautiful. They are so good, so chocolatey, so delicious.
Well, now I want curly fries, so thanks.
I'm definitely going to Arby's after this. There's zero doubt in my mind that I'm going to get a milkshake as soon as we get off this. Let's get into picks. Steelers versus Ravens, Week 18. This is the last time we might get to do this. This is a little sad. Steelers are 6-point dogs heading into Sunday. Over under 41.5, which seems very low. Lamar Jackson likely not playing. Diontae Johnson and Kendrick Green just got put on COVID. No Keith Butler for the Steelers come Sunday. What's your prediction here? What's your picks?
I want to preface this by saying every Steelers pick I ever make is wrong.
Yep.
No matter if it's picking a winner or a loser or picking a spread or the over-under, everything I say is wrong. Completely wrong. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. And if you're a betting man and you're listening to this, I'd probably bet against what I'm about to say. I think the Ravens end up winning, but I think the Steelers cover. I think the Steelers cover that 6.5-point spread. Do you happen to have the over-under on you by chance?
41.5.
41.5. Dude, with both of those offenses, are they both hitting 20?
The Steelers seemed like they put up 1 billion points against the Browns. And what was the final score? 19-14 or something? Like
something weird like that.
Yeah. But it seemed like the Steelers held the ball the entire game. It seemed like the Steelers just totally destroyed the Browns. Didn't put up 20 points. 26-14. They did get one at the end. Still 26 points. You'd have to guess that the Ravens put up at least another 17.
I'll take the under.
Yeah.
Especially with like all of the players out, it's looking like a real undery game.
real undery on 41.5. That's a rough one. You got a score prediction here. Actually, let's do our picks of the week, and then we'll come back and give our scores here. I'm going to stick with the Ravens or with the Steelers as well, +6, which we'll see in a minute. I'm feeling very confident on. I'm also going to go under on the 41.5. However, when we get to the picks, you're going to see that the score predictions, you're going to see that I'm feeling a little bit better about the Steelers offense than maybe some are. Maybe you are. Let's get into our let's win some people some money. You want to win some people some money? We missed last week. That's on both of us, which stinks, especially because we were coming off a hot streak. We were feeling real good. Yep. 4 for 4, not 1 for 3. Or 1 for 4, not 2 for 4, not 3 for 4. 4 for 4.
Wendy's
followed us. We won $1 billion. Yep. This week we're doing it again. Donnie, start it off. What's your lock of the week here?
Lock this down right now, ladies and gentlemen. Lock of the week. Cowboys money line over the Eagles -213.
Weird number.
Eagles, everybody, very weird number. Everybody and a monkey's uncle on the Philadelphia Eagles are not playing this week because they cannot move playoff seeding. The Eagles being smart, know very well nothing good will come out of playing the starters, so a whole lot of starters are going to be missing. The Cowboys did, however, put Micah Parsons and now Tyron Smith on the COVID list the last couple of days. True. Very concerning, but the Cowboys, who could still shuffle playoff position a little bit, will still be playing for the win from everything that we've seen. So I'm very confident in the Cowboys, at worst, backups beating the Eagles backups. And stretch the week, though, I usually try to make this a plus money pick. Couldn't really find anything I like. Week 18 is a very weird week to try to win some money. just because you don't know who's going to play. You don't know who's going to be sitting out. You never really know what team is going to show up and play spoiler. The Cardinals ending a 3-game losing streak on the road against the Cowboys last week. Go back at State Farm Stadium at home. No, the Seahawks have a lot of injury problems right now, brother. A lot. I mean, 6 offensive linemen popped up on their injury report yesterday. I was telling you before we started recording the show, 17 players on their injury report, 11 of them being non-participants. The Cardinals still have a lot to play for. I mean, I feel like they certainly would love to play and still win the division. They need a win and a Rams loss to the 49ers. So a lot to play for in Arizona. I like them 6.5 over the Seahawks at -110 on SI Sportsbook.
I do like Cardinals over the Seahawks, 6.5. Big game. I like the 219 or the 213 too. I think that's a good number to take a money line on for a favorite. You don't have to worry about a spread. You just got to worry about a win.
If this was a regular game, that number might be -400.
That's what I agree. That's why I think 213 is a very low number. You jump on that right now. I mean, you bet $50, you're still winning $35-ish.
Look,
you bet $100, that's $70.
It's a lock for a reason.
That's what I'm saying. It's feeling good about it.
Yep.
All right, bro. Here we go. My lock of the week.
Oh, no.
I'm feeling good about it. I told you I'm feeling real good about it. Real good about it. There are a few things I know about the NFL and the world of gambling. There are a few games I get right on a yearly basis. This one, I feel like I throw it in the bag, tie it up. You should already be cashed out at FanDuel or on SI Sportsbook or on DraftKings or wherever you get your bets from. They should already pay you for this one. Steelers +6 at -110 against the Ravens. No Snoop Dogg or no Lamar Jackson. You're talking Snoop Huntley is the quarterback. I don't care if Diontae Johnson plays or not. The Pittsburgh Steelers and Ravens are, even if everyone was healthy and playing, the Pittsburgh Steelers and Ravens would be a 3-point game no matter what. To say that the Ravens are going to win by a whole touchdown, not happening. It's Ben's last game. He will do whatever he takes to at least make this competitive. It's one thing to lose. It's another thing to be blown out. He won't let that happen in his last game. Lock of the week. Lock it in. I'm feeling real good about this one. My stretch of the week, which at one point was my lock of the week. That's how good I'm feeling about this one too, is the Atlanta Falcons +4 versus the Saints. I like the dogs this week. The Saints, they need a win to get into the playoffs. Okay. Saints win, Rams win, Saints get in somehow. Taysom Hill has led them to the glory land. I don't understand how that's possible. Last time the Falcons beat the Saints, just beat them. I don't remember what the game was, but I remember at one point they were up like 28-17 or something. I remember watching it. There is zero chance that this is more than a field goal game. The Saints haven't beaten anybody by more than a field goal all season. I mean, even their wins against Tom Brady were like 9-0. That's not a team that you could expect to blow somebody out, even if it's the Atlanta Falcons. I think that the Falcons keep this one reasonable. +4 versus the Saints. I wouldn't be surprised if they walk away winners. I feel like two good lines here. 110 is always a line that I feel very confident in. Mm-hmm. Feel real good about them.
Yeah, because that 110, like 110, 115 range, it's usually the line sports books kind of begin at and then they shift it from there. It's not plus money, so you don't feel like you're not questioning taking it, because if it's plus money and you really like it, then you kind of wonder to yourself, okay, like what do they know that I don't, right?
Yep, Vegas always knows something.
Yep, and then if it's minus like severe money, you're like, okay, well, is it really worth putting my money on it? And it ends up like not cashing, So I feel like right around that like -110, 115, 120 area, chef's kiss.
Yeah, it's always a perfect number. All right. For what might be the last time this season, for what might be the last time in Ben Roethlisberger's career, Donnie Droom, what is your prediction for the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Baltimore Ravens, Week 18 in Baltimore? 6-point dogs. You say under, and the Steelers 6.
I think it plays really close to the under, though. I'll go 21-16 in favor of the Ravens.
21-16, favor of the Ravens. I like that. You feeling confident about that even without Lamar Jackson? How confident are you in Snoop Huntley?
I'm confident in me watching the Steelers consistently struggle against backup quarterbacks year after year after year and not having a game plan for them.
All righty. I feel good about that. I think the Steelers are going to win. And I hope that I'm not being too optimistic because I feel as if I'm being – this feels like a classic Noah trap game. This feels like I'm just a very promising guy. I like to think good vibes, and I'm just like, man, why would they lose this one? This is Ben's farewell. Why would they get rid of it? Well, if Ben's farewell was last year, Marquise Pouncey started the game 14-0, and then they had to come back from that. And that should have never happened. So I'm gonna stick with my mindset. I'm gonna stay optimistic. I think the Steelers pull this one out. I also think that the Steelers offense has a decent game. I also think that the Steelers defense is going to have a great game. And it's all going to start with TJ Watt. I think that TJ Watt is a guy. Sorry, I was just checking my phone because as I was talking, my mind went, TJ Watt could get COVID, and I don't want to be that guy.
Bro,
but like
my
phone went off. Bro. My phone went off. I don't want to think about that, but this is how this world works. I mean, Micah Parsons is one sack away from Javon Curse's rookie record. Will not get it now. And like in a year of COVID, where the universe has just slapped us all around time and time again, you're telling me that hasn't crossed your mind? That worry? That hasn't. All right.
Not for TJ.
Right. All right, I'm feeling good about that. I like that. I like that energy. I still think they walk away winners. My score, it might be a little high. I think the Steelers put up 20-plus points again. I'm going to say I'm going to go with the over, and I'm going to say 24-20 Steelers. I could also see this going 24-17, which would ruin my over, but I think that the Ravens find a Justin Tucker field goal somewhere there late in the second half and keep that one going. Let's hope, let's hope. And also go Duval because 15 and a half points. I mean, I think that's what it should be. Just if you can beat the spread, if the Jacksonville Jaguars can beat the spread, the Steelers make it into the playoffs. I think that that's only fair. And that's how the NFL should rule this moving forward. Few things to keep an eye on this weekend. Ravens, Steelers, Ben's last game, must watch, obviously. At the same time, watch the Indianapolis Colts and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't care how boring it is or how big of a shutout or how big of a blowout it is early. Keep an eye on it because it's a game that decides the Steelers' future, and they've done this before. Jacksonville Jaguars, 6-0 the last 6 games against the Indianapolis Colts at home. Snoop Huntley leading the Ravens out. TJ Watt, a sack and a half away from the sack record. There's a lot going on. Mm-hmm. Join us tomorrow, Friday, with Derek the Kid here at All Steelers Talk. Check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/All Steelers Talk. And make sure to follow your favorite podcast hosts on Twitter, at Noahstrack, at Donnie Droon. I'm going to say it all week. Go Duval. We'll see you tomorrow.